You know, I'm kind of liking this whole bringing a lot of people in. Last month we had Pascal and Meshach from the Armada. So this time I decided to bring some friends. I got my man Denny Thompson here, all the guys, man. I'm trying to get after tonight, man. What you got for me?
We're gonna go. We're gonna throw a bunch of balls.
Okay.
A bunch of balls, get some footwork in.
Okay. You know, I play a little bit of wide receiver, right?
This isn't for this quarterback. You're playing quarterback tonight.
Oh, you gonna turn me into a quarterback?
I'm gonna try.
He's gonna turn me into a quarterback. Ain't no trying about it. Let's go. All right, welcome back into the show. I got my man Denny Thompson here. We're gonna have a little bit of fun tonight. But first, we're gonna talk a little bit. What's going on, man?
Let's talk, man. Just living life, living the dream. I mean, seriously, I got the best job in the world.
Under the lights?
Under the lights. I mean, seriously, I train quarterbacks for a living, and I do a radio show. I mean, people say all the time, when are you gonna grow up? Hey, this is what you get with me.
Why grow up?
I'm not going to.
So, speaking, you say you train quarterbacks. That's why we're out here. Tell me, how did you get started training quarterbacks?
Well, actually, the way I got started is I got fired from a head coaching job in a fairly public manner.
Right.
And needed some money. And so somebody said, hey, will you train my kid? And I thought, oh, I'll try that. And this was, I guess, 6 years ago or so, right at 6 years ago. And so started with one kid and trained him. Didn't really know what to charge. It kind of worked out for the kid and thought, well, this is fun. And we just kind of been grinding all the way through there. I mean, the last 6 years has been, you know, it's not an easy business.
Right.
It's not an easy business, and so you have to kind of prove your worth, and to a certain point I've done that, and my wife and I have worked really, really hard to build a name and protect the name, and we treat these kids like they're our own, and so here we are, and it's a full-fledged business, and trained over 100 kids this summer, and just couldn't be more fortunate, couldn't be happier. I mean, God really has just intervened in this for me and said, you know, this is the path you're going to take no matter how hard I resisted.
Right.
Because at times it would have been a lot easier to just say, you know what, I'm going back into coaching.
Right.
And I've had the opportunities, but God has just kept me on that path, and my wife has supported me the whole way through. And like I said, here we are.
Grant, come on now. Hey guys, I want just one group where I go, that's a good group. Those are good balls.
Leighton Alley, a guy you might know by the name of Eli Peters. I say he made a name for himself.
Well, they did that. They did that. Here's what I tell people all the time. Like, I think my best trait is I pick the kids that are already good, and then I have the ability to not mess them up.
I mean, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it's a great business plan if you think about it. It really is. Now, in all seriousness, I mean, you know, I sit out here and I correct little things. And I tell every parent that asks, I'm very honest with them, is, you know, don't hire me and think your kid's going to go Division I. I've been very lucky and sent over 20 that way, but you know what, most of them would have gone without me. I mean, just being honest, and that's most of the trainers out there, is I didn't give them their athletic ability.
Right.
You know, I didn't give Leighton Alley 6'4".
Right.
If I can figure that out, I got something.
Be a millionaire.
No, I got something. But these kids, they get out here and they work and they work and they work. And I think the thing that I do well is I motivate and I push them. And I don't care if they're in 6th grade, if they're going to be a senior, or if they're 3 years in college. I treat them all the same. I expect the same out of them. And that is just simply to give me everything you've got when your parents are out here paying for you to be out here.
Exactly.
So.
And I like, from the practices that we've seen, one thing that you kind of tend to see with a lot of groups, when you have a lot of group training, is that you don't a lot of times get that individualized training. But you just stand out here, you pull kids to the side and say, hey, you know, we're all working. Hey, you guys do your thing. Let me talk to you for a second. Hey, look, you know, and it's not in like a demeaning way. Just, hey, look, you're doing this, you know, which is fine, but you know, do this, this, and this, and then usually it's instant results, which is, you know, that's instant gratification.
And most of the kids that you'll see in the group tonight, I train individually as well. And what we do is we have 2 group sessions every week. And the Friday night one is kind of like, hey, this is fun.
Right.
This is fun. Now we get after it and I get after them, right? Because they're still paying me to be here. And so I owe that to them. But this is the time to just let it rip. Let's just see some football spin and let's get after it. So most of the kids, I know what they have a tendency to do. And for whatever reason, I didn't get a whole lot of talent given to me in a football sense, like playing wise. But for whatever reason, God just gave me an eye for this. And so I can pick out just little details. And I work with these kids so much that you find out. I can look at the way the ball's flying and I can tell you what they did.
So if it's cover 2, you're hitting the rail shot before the safety gets over. If it's cover 3, you're just beating the corner. Outside. Okay? Know your situation outside.
We said earlier, obviously you have a background in coaching. Tell me how exactly the coaching aspect of it. What's different from coaching in a team aspect than coaching out here on the field?
Not a whole lot. I get to spend more time with my wife and kids.
This is always great.
Yeah, that's a bonus. I actually like my wife and kids.
That's good too. I think that's a requirement actually.
It is. So I want to spend time with them. The one thing that I think I miss is the game planning aspect, is watching the film and really trying to figure out how to beat the crowd out of somebody else, right? And you lose a little bit of that competitiveness. But with that being said, my wife will tell you, when we go to games, I never got nervous coaching. Never. I go to games now, man, I'm a nervous wreck. I mean, absolutely, and I'm paying attention to every little detail of, even when they're not on the field, how are they treating the players on the sideline. We got one kid that this summer, I told him, I said, I don't like, you're not giving enough to your team. And so I got his team together and said, I don't want any of you to tie a shoe. If your shoe is untied, you come here to your quarterback and he'll tie it for you. And it's just little things like that that seem extreme. But then I go watch him on Friday nights, and now I see him walk up to a kid and tie a shoe. Or I see him take charge in a huddle and take over a game. And that's the rewarding part. So I still get my reward, it's just not the scoreboard.
Right.
It's more, this kid improved from this point to this point, and I got to see it in the game.
And speaking of that, it's you kind of get that gratification that lasts a little longer. Once this guy goes from when you're coaching, once he's leaves your school, typically that's it. But you're coaching this guy from the ground up, so as far as he goes, you go.
Right. Right.
You see him on the screen, it's that's my guy.
Yeah, and here's the downside to it is I'm a Gator fan.
Oof.
But you can't
cut this interview now.
but what's happened is I've got kids spread out. And so rarely do I watch any Florida games now.
Right.
It's if Pittsburgh's playing, I want to see Nate Peterman play.
Right.
And if Eli's playing, I want to see him play. And just I want to see all my kids playing at that next level. I want to get to as many as I can. And so that's the downside is I don't watch football to watch football anymore. I watch football to watch my kids.
You got a little bit of a radio show.
A little bit of one.
You co-host with a guy that some of you guys might know.
Big Game James Coleman. We've had a radio show for almost 2 years now.
Where's this thing going?
Can I say I don't know to either one of them?
You can.
And that's the honest truth. I've always wanted to do radio, and once again, I'm just going to say God intervened in my life and took me from a direction that I was heading into and said, you're going here. And the truth is, now, you're probably the only person I've ever told this, is I actually did a free internship at the age of 35 years old at 10XL. And everybody's like, what are you doing? And I don't know why I did it, but I did it. And met some guys there, did some high school stuff for them, and they said, hey, we're going to start a radio show, and go pick your guy. And instantly I knew James.
Yeah.
James is who I wanted. As far as where it's going, I'm surprised with where it's went. It started off as just kind of like a one day, hey, let's have some fun. And it's kind of, well, like you said, it's kind of just grown into this following. And all we do is get in there and just have fun. That's all we do. And hopefully that comes through the airwaves. Hopefully people get that. But we have a good time. We love to hang out with other, I don't even want to call them fans, listeners. Listeners, and
I think that's a very loose term, but yeah, we'll rock with it.
Yeah, listeners and just, just be guys.
So anyways, man, we'll wrap it up here. Tell the folks at home, how can they get in contact with you? Because guys, from me being out here, I've seen what he's done. I've done everything with the kids. It's legit. I mean, even if you're not necessarily, trying to go to the next level, just come out here and run around. I mean, it's a lot of fun. How can folks get in contact with you?
I don't have a website. I don't have a company name. I don't have anything like that. So I guess the easiest way is at Denny_Thompson on Twitter. Find me on Facebook, Denny Thompson. That's probably the easiest way. It's just kind of organically grown. Hopefully I have a website soon if we need it.
I think you need one pretty soon.
Maybe so.
And where can everybody catch the show, the radio show?
1010XL 92.5 FM starting, well, now actually. It's 8 to 10 on Monday nights, 8 to 10 on Sunday nights. Hopefully some more times to be announced soon.
I'm sure we'll get some more times. And I'm also sure that we're about to get after it on this football field. I've been playing football for a long time, and it's killing me sitting under these lights and not having the football in my hand. I'm going to go change, and we're going to get after it.
Let's
We'll
go.
be right back.